Welcome to Eye on You. Innovation and technology IT has been a core driver to provide dynamics of economic growth since the dawn of the industrial age. Inventions and commercialization of new sources of power, such as from steam to electricity, combined with innovative ways of organizing production and businesses, have propelled strong productivity gains in many advanced economies. In addition to economic productivity, IT has improved people's quality of life and created quality jobs for young people. Therefore, as the world moves into the 5G, AI, cloud computing, and blockchain technology era, against a backdrop of increasing globalization, IT becomes ever more important factors for Hong Kong's sustainable development. From domestic and international experience, the development of IT is highly dependent on a world-class ecosystem of innovation, which encompasses bigger, less tangible things such as human capital, social culture, businesses environment, industrial structure, creative entrepreneurship, education system, government policies, and collaborative practices of all levels. Today, we are going to have a candid conversation regarding the policy and the ecosystem of IT in Hong Kong. And it is a great honor to invite Dr. Sunny Chai to join us. Dr. Chai has been serving as the chairman of Hong Kong Science and Technology Parks Corporation since July 2018. In the same year, he was awarded the Bronze Bohemian Star by the Chief Executive for his outstanding contribution for the promotion of IT development in Hong Kong. Hello, Sunny.
Hello.
Welcome to our show today.
Yeah, thank you.
So it is our understanding that nurturing startups is the top priority in Hong Kong, especially for the development of innovation and technology. And also is the Hong Kong STPCs. It was established in May 2001, and it provides one-stop infrastructure and other support services to technology-based business for Hong Kong. So in this condition, Sunny, what range of programs do you give to those business who want to do startup in Hong Kong?
Okay. Within Hong Kong Science and Technology Park, we have Science Park in Tai Po, Sha Tin, and we have three Inno Parks. We used to call industrial estate. Three Inno Parks meaning Yuen Long, Tai Po, and TKO. The three industrial estate we used to call them, and also Inno Center in Kowloon Town. So within Science Park, nearby the Tai Po, Sha Tin today, we have about 1,100 tech companies, and within these 1,100 tech companies, about 600 of them are incubation. Okay, we belongs to incubation program. So in the incubation program, we give start with a program we call ideation. So we will grant an amount from 50,000 to 100,000. So it's just for the young tech people to try. So when they are committed to join our program, so we have two sets of programs. One is we call IncubBio, which is a 4-year program. The funding covers roughly up to 6 million. And the others is a 3-year programs. And the funding is roughly up to about 4 million. So for the tech companies in Science Park today, we also have different programs for them. There's a program we call the Elite Program. So we match with these elite tech companies up to 20 million and to match with their R&D expenses.
So as we have mentioned that Hong Kong Science Park is a very important I&T infrastructure in Hong Kong. And so when we talk about the competition, how we are going to face a very fierce competition among our region, also in Asia region. So how are we going to improve or extend the infrastructure in Hong Kong to enhance the support for tenants and for incubators?
Okay, I think the I&T ecosystem in different cities or countries, I mean, they do have different style or ecosystem. For example, you look at San Francisco, you look at Tokyo, Shenzhen, Singapore, and us. Put people and technology aside first, because people and technology has no boundary. For example, if I'm doing a AI for advanced manufacturing, if I'm missing something in my development, I can acquire those technology from anywhere. So people and technology has no boundary. What I always say, what does have a boundary is policy and the culture. The culture that created because of certain government policy. But if you look at San Francisco, the Bay Area in the US, government involvement is very little. So it's mostly investor and tech companies. But if you look at Japan, Japan has a tradition of having big companies who dominate the market. And so the startups usually, when they want to do a proof of concept projects, they have to rely on bigger companies. So as they grow slowly and when they become a bit more successful, those companies are acquired or absorbed into the bigger company. That's why you see there's not much unicorns comparing to the ratio that we have in Hong Kong. Hong Kong, I must say, in these 5 to 7 years, the funding given from the government is tremendous, and the support given was tremendous. So it's no black magic. When there's a support from the government, there's a policy to drive all these to move forward. As Hong Kong Science and Technology Park is the major I&T platform here, so we as an operator. So we have we must do the right thing to promote and to drive the whole thing. So I don't see, I mean, I won't bother with the competitions, because when we have a good ecosystem, people will come here, and especially we are within GBA.
But as you are the expert in this area, so if you allow me to ask further questions on the involvement of the government and whether there is involvement of government or whether there is funding for the government, is it more advantageous for the incubators, or it is actually the same compared to those who are market-driven regions?
No, I think like Hong Kong, I've been serving Innovation and Technology Commission since 2006, and I myself has been an industrialist for over 35 years. So if you ask me, for a city like Hong Kong, the first thing, we have such a good level of universities here. The technology levels of our university here is just marvelous. Five universities are within QS 100 here. Comparing to other main cities like London or New York, or Tokyo, they probably have 2 or 1, and we have 5. Okay, with just a very small area footprint in Hong Kong. So this is first of all, the university standing in Hong Kong is no question a big support to our I&T ecosystem. With our tradition, okay, in the 70s or before the 70s, our industry will rely on foreign companies to give us business to do production. So we was more like on a OEM basis. And then since 80s, a lot of factories have moved their major businesses, production to mainland. So you see a lot of technologies or tech people has moved it into mainland. And do we have a gap there? Perhaps yes, but there could be policy in the 80s or 90s to retain some of these tech people here. Mm-hmm. So in the last 20 years, you see the evolution, and we all knew that technology is something that we need to retain and drive in Hong Kong. So, but we were quite slow in the first decade, after the year 2000. So if you ask me, without the help of government, without the support, without this policy, it will take more time. So the government support and help in these few years really boost the whole thing, like exponential.
If we may move to another topic, like if I can make an example, like SenseTime. It was originally founded by a group of professors from Chinese U in Hong Kong in 2014. So after years of R&D and innovative breakthroughs, and it had made a remarkable commercial transfer from when it launched to IPO in 2021 last year, and raised about $6 billion Hong Kong dollars. So it has become the renowned high-profile tech unicorn in Hong Kong. So in your opinion, what services and support does the Science Park could offer to academic staff or for universities, academia, so that the technology transfer can be a success for the industry?
Now, okay, put it this way. Among the unicorns we see in Hong Kong now, 18 of them, many of them are actually has the background from academia. But is it a natural ingredients? I mean, to be a prestige professor so that they will be successful? I don't have an answer on this, but for professors who wants to become an entrepreneur, is really their choice.
So when do you think the government should step in, and how do you see the government's policy should help them to do the matchmaking, or how do you do the matching for the academia and also on the business side?
Yeah, put it this way, in Hong Kong, Innovation and Technology Commission has already lots of great fundings to facilitate all these. Plus, there are 5 R&D centers, which also helps university to translate the technology with the industries. I pick a few examples. At the airport, we don't travel much now, but when we used to travel a lot back 2 years ago, you saw that. I mean, we could easily get our luggage card. Why? And you see a lot of co-workers. They would move the cards. They somehow they know where the cards are left. So why? There was a CCTV surveillance system developed by CHK, and they had applied for funding via an R&D center, RSCM, and they had delivered we call a public sector trial scheme as a proof of concept. So they have proven to Airport Authority that they can help Airport Authority to locate all those luggage carts that are moved around and they don't know where they are, so that workers can collect them and put them back to the luggage conveyor belt. And so this was proven through university, but university professors sometimes they don't do business. So what do you do? And then there was a matching with another system integrator who wants to take up the business. So it's a kind of matching. But before you do all that, it's not just you can bring an industrialist and talk to a professor and then you match them. You can't. You have to get someone to provide a scene. That's the example was Airport Authority, and then you have a tech person, the professor who is willing to do a trial to demonstrate. Third, when the proof of concept was proven to be successful, and then you need a industrialist who is willing to pick it up. And of course, when there's a business, I'm sure someone will pick it up. Mm-hmm. So this is one of the example. It's a translation via university R&D center to land a successful technology to be used by the public. So ITC has been providing a lot of these fundings to facilitate. Mm-hmm. So and also science park tech companies can use the same.
Yeah, Sunny, so let's zoom out to a bigger moment, to a bigger picture for the next question. Because the 14th five-year plan that it raised for the first time, it supports Hong Kong to develop into the international IT hub. So what strategic plans for all the development priorities are we taking in Hong Kong in order for us to build an international IT hub?
I think first of all, Hong Kong has a good foundation of rule of law, our high integrity in IP protection, and we have lots of good professionals like in finance or legal like yourself. Okay, and so this already set the scene for Hong Kong as a good foundation to be an international playground. And within GBA, there's so much we can collaborate with Hong Kong and the 9 cities in Macau. And Science Park will be opening up our Fujian site later this year. So we will focus on how to bring our tech companies in, but at the same time to attract good tech companies in GBA to come out and also to collaborate between our tech companies in Hong Kong and also tech companies in GBA altogether. So this is one. Second, treasure the reindustrialization path we are doing in Hong Kong. So from R to InnoFactoring, and also ride on fundraising F, R, I, and F. The three the ecosystem, the three circles overlaps. To me, there's no priority which one should be used first. So R, I, and F will be a ecosystem for Hong Kong INT, and hopefully this our ecosystem that will definitely be part of GBA's INT ecosystem.
I think the last question will be the key issues on whether we can do the success for R&D or do all the IT as an international IT hub in Hong Kong, is whether we have enough elites and the talents. How are we going to attract the GBA talent and they come to Hong Kong to build our international hub?
Good. So you know more than I do definitely on. In the last policy address, well, we are talking about expanding our INT infrastructure, our land, and having about 250 hectare more of INT land in Northern Metropolis or the reclaimed area outside Science Park. So we are talking about 4 times the land we have compared to today. So by a simple math, which means we need 4 times the tech company, 4 times the R&D people. Today at Science Park, we have about 17,000. Wow, good, very good. And then 11,000 of them are R&D people. Right. So in Hong Kong, we have about 40,000 R&D people, including researchers in the universities. So simply, it's 1 out of 4 R&D people are at Science Park. But when we look at the development of in the next 7, 10 years or 15 years of the Northern Metropolis and the 88 hectare of reclaimed outside Science Park, 4 times of tech people. Where do we get them? My suggestion would be first from universities, our local universities. We have to promote what is industry, what is tech, what's reindustrialization for Hong Kong, not just to the student, but to the parents. Because usually in our census report, we see government will announce Hong Kong's manufacturing is 1.1% or 1.2% of GDP. And compared to Singapore or Switzerland, they are about 18 or 19. But how could Hong Kong be 1 point something and Singapore and Switzerland be 18 or 19? Because their number is called industry. Our number is called manufacturing. So we have to look at what was the gap. So the Federation of Hong Kong Industry did a research with Hong Kong U last year. Actually, the same research was done by Hong Kong U professors in 2016. And what was found is within the 90% service industry on GDP, 40-something% what they call producer services, which means they are engineering, design, finance, legal, all those supporting functions, supporting function along the industry value chain. So manufacturing is just part of it, but you need all the others to facilitate the whole thing. So I think parents, students has to look at it this way. So Hong Kong does have an industry. We have to keep that in mind, and it has become already. We have a Hong Kong style reindustrialization. First of all, second, our birth rate is low. It's still low. So
very low. It's still 0.87 this year.
Yes. So you should work on it. I have worked on it already. and our applicants to universities, the number of them, the students are less and less every year. So what should we do? Okay, I heard from many presidents of the universities that there's a ratio of accepting mainland applicants is about 25%. So could Hong Kong expand this ratio to let more mainland students and foreign students to come to Hong Kong? Okay, and after we can even provide tuition loans to them. Okay, if they finish university here, can we retain them to work in Hong Kong? Of course, living is a problem. Yeah. So can we have more in-no-self type living quarters for them? And then after they work for a few years, can we think of some sort of housing schemes for tech young people? So by doing all these, I mean, we should help to retain this tech talent to be in Hong Kong.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Sunny. So letting us know so many information about the key of success of building up the international IT hub in Hong Kong. So thank you again, Sunny.
Thank you, Eunice. Thank you.